The local kid is coming home as the Chicago Bears signed linebacker TJ Edwards to a 3-year deal worth only $19.5 million for the entire contract. Okay, only about $6.5 million per year. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears free agency update video, which I'll be doing anytime the Chicago Bears sign a free agent. The legal tampering period opened earlier this day, so expect the Bears to make a lot more signings in the coming days, and maybe even today we might see a couple more signings. So subscribe to my channel if you guys want my reaction to all the Bears news, all the Bears signings. And man, I am happy about this signing. Okay, very, very happy, because I cannot believe the price that we got TJ Edwards at. Okay, according to PFF and other projection sites, okay, they thought that TJ Edwards was going to get a contract in the $12 to $14 million per year range. Okay, per year, and we got him for $19.5 million for the entire contract. Okay, about half the value of the entire contract that other sites thought he was going to get. He was one of the best linebackers in the NFL last year, according to the advanced stats. And if you look, if you ask any Eagles fan too, TJ Edwards was a big part of why they had one of the best defenses in the NFL last year. Okay, tackling machine, really good in coverage, a Mike backer. So, for the Bears, he's probably going to be playing Mike backer in this scheme, in this 4-3 defense. And again, I cannot believe the price we got him at, because this has to be one of the best value signings I've seen the Bears honestly ever make. Okay, when you already look at the proven production that this guy has had. And honestly, we got him for 3 years for the same price as 1 year of Roquan, right? I mean, Roquan Smith, even though he's a fantastic linebacker, he wanted $20 million per year, and he is getting on average $20 million per year. Well, we got TJ Edwards, also a really good linebacker, a coverage linebacker, that is only getting paid about $20 million for the entire contract. I mean, that is fantastic value finding by Ryan Poles. And if you look at this kid, TJ Edwards, he is a hometown kid as well. So maybe he took a hometown discount to some extent, right? Because I don't get why he would sign this early in free agency for much less than his projected contract value. Okay, it didn't really make much sense to me, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Okay, we got him for an absolute steal. Happy he wants to be in Chicago. Happy he wanted to take, hometown discount. And he's from Lake Villa, Illinois, so in the suburbs basically of Chicago. He also went to Wisconsin, where he played linebacker. So another undrafted linebacker from Wisconsin, just like we have in Jack Sanborn. It's going to be a pretty fun duo to watch them both playing together. But let me talk more about this guy and what he will bring to the Chicago Bears. So Edwards is 6'1", weighs 242 pounds, pretty decent size for a Mike backer. He doesn't have top end athleticism. He's not going to be a crazy athlete in terms of straight line speed. At the combine, he didn't really necessarily perform that well, which is why he went undrafted to the Eagles in 2019. But if you look at his tape, if you look at him actually playing the game, he is a very instinctual linebacker in coverage especially. Okay, if I read you guys his coverage stats, so shout out to Will DeWitt for this stat, but he allowed the 4th lowest completion percentage of linebackers last season and tied with the most forced incompletion. So a guy that you're going to send out there in coverage, obviously, and he did really well for the Eagles last year in that regard. Okay, getting his hands on the ball, keeping the receiver, keeping the tight end in front of him, and being able to make a play on the ball. He has to really have good knowledge of the game to be able to make plays on the ball, because he doesn't have, top end athleticism. So he really relies on his football IQ to be making these plays. And obviously, according to PFF, I mean, I know a lot of people don't really believe in PFF stats, but if you want, what they think about TJ Edwards, he was one of the best linebackers in coverage according to their metrics. And obviously, it was playing in front of a good defensive line that does make your job easier in terms of coverage and run defense too, right? Like if you have, a bunch of guys up front plugging up those gaps, and you have a straight shot to the running back, it's going to make it easier for you to get those tackles, etc. So with the Bears, obviously we don't have a great defensive line right now, but obviously Ryan Poles is going to sign better defensive linemen, also draft some too, so it's not going to be as bad as it was last year. And in terms of run defense, he has been pretty solid overall during his career. Okay, not a lot of missed tackles. He has good solid fundamentals, good solid understanding of the game, because again, he has to, because he's not a top end athlete, so he cannot rely on just being an insane athlete to make up ground. He really has to know, what the offense is doing. He needs to call out, what's happening on the offense and communicate with the other linebackers, because he was a Mike backer in that scheme. So a lot of responsibilities there in Philadelphia. He did really good for the Eagles last year and throughout the majority of his career, okay, even though he was an undrafted linebacker. And if I read you guys his stats, okay, from the last year. So 2022, he started in 17 games. He had 159 combined tackles. 159 tackles is a lot of damn tackles. He also had 10 tackles for loss. So, you can see that run defense really showing up there. He also had 5 QB hits and 1 fumble recovery too. So pretty good year last year. Before that, he only played 14 games in 2021. 130 total tackles, 5 TFLs, 2 quarterback hits. Before that, only 12 games and 70 tackles, 2 sacks as well, 5 tackles for loss. So you can see, guys, the production is definitely there. Okay, this is a guy that's already been very productive on a really good defense. I mean, again, that's why I'm so surprised the Bears are getting him for this price, because we honestly should not be getting him for this price. He should have demanded, 10 million per year based on what his production was. But, Ryan Poles and our team got really lucky. They're willing to come here for a pretty cheap price. And he's definitely going to improve the Bears' run defense and pass defense by a lot. Because if you look at our linebackers last year, right, like we had Nicholas Moreau, we had, obviously Jack Sanborn eventually starting, but he didn't play that many games because he got injured. And we also had Matt Adams there too, but he wasn't that good. I mean, all the linebackers we had last year, they're basically stopgaps, after we traded away Roquan Smith. Like, Roquan's supposed to be that superstar, but, couldn't come to terms on an agreement with the contract with him. And, we had to go with the random guys that were on 1-year deals. But it seems like, Ryan Poles now has found, a long-term, maybe not a fully long-term solution, right? Because he's only on a 3-year deal, a cheap 3-year deal. But for the next 3 years, the Bears probably will be getting pretty decent linebacker play, at least compared to what they got, last year. So it's definitely going to be a big, big upgrade in that regard. So you guys can tell I really love this signing. I mean, it's the type of signing that, I feel like Bears GMs haven't made too often in the past. Okay, getting a guy for way below market value at a position of need and still getting him on day one for, again, a cheap price. I mean, I don't get how Ryan Poles even pulled that off, but hats off to you, Ryan Poles. And now the Bears could even sign another linebacker if they want to. Okay, if they want to get a Bobby Okereke at maybe a similar price or maybe a little bit more, they honestly could, because we still have so much money to spend. Okay, this is only going to take away about $6.5 million of our cap space. So we're definitely not going to be hurting for cap at all. And this signing, just improves our run defense and our coverage unit by a lot, okay, on the defense. Like, we had a terrible defense last year, the worst defense in the NFL according to points allowed per game, and signing like this is definitely going to help a lot. And I cannot wait to see Jack Sanborn and TJ Edwards reunite. I'm not sure, I don't think they ever played together. Maybe they did. Let me know in the comments down below. But whatever the case is, they're coming from the same area in Illinois, basically. Went to the same college, also got undrafted, so that's going to be a pretty fun duo to watch. But let me know what you guys think about the signing in the comments down below. I'll be back with more videos very soon. As always, bear down.